Everybody. Quickly introducing this next project I'm going to be starting. It may take a while because it's a lot of audio editing, but I'm going to stream it and then release basically everything for free on the website. Let me pull up a better. And basically what I'm going to be doing is sampling video games, retro video games. I'll be taking requests for which ones to do. And so like the requirement is they have to have like a sound effects menu, or it has to be like easily sampled. In other words, I'll explain it as I'll go, and you'll kind of see what I'm looking for. I have a bunch already I'm going to start on. But as far as what I have, I'm also looking for titles I don't have. From what I have, I am taking requests on like basically priority, so which ones I should do next, if I have them. If not, I will take suggestions upon which ones to get, and then we can, once I obtain them, we could talk about prioritizing them in the order. So, the point of today, where I'm going to get started, is I want to test the difference in sound quality because I'm starting with Super Nintendo games. Eventually we'll do Sega and then maybe some regular Nintendo games, just depending. They need to have a sound effects option in the option menu. And then we'll see that through all the games I do because all the games I have that. So you'll see it. It'll be repeated. Let me turn this TV on. Turn the power strip on. All right, so let me pull it up in Pro Tools, and then you should be able to hear the music through the stream. Okay, so that's going to be inputs 11 and 12. And then 11 and 12. We need to change. I guess we can switch to the Pro Tools view. A lot of this is going to be in Pro Tools. And then we can switch these over. Now, did I do this right? Ah, I did. Okay. There we go. Okay, so right now this is this one. This is an old original Super Nintendo. So let's go to the menu. Did I grab the wrong controller? I did. This controller's hooked up to the other one. I should only have one controller. Let me get this one out of here because I'm going to confuse myself if I don't. It's way too much stuff to press in this room. Here we go. So under options, we can go down here to sound effects test. And this is where we can kind of actually see things audio-wise. And this is what kind of brought upon this. Was right here. As you can look at the noise floor of the Super Nintendo. And that's what we get from the Super Nintendo as the noise floor in this menu. And we get it in other games too. Because I originally noticed this with the Arcanon game, and then I started, if we look in Pro Tools, I started actually sampling it in mono after realizing that all the samples were not in stereo at all on the machine. So it's like, why am I going to capture a bunch of mono sounds in stereo? It doesn't make sense. So also this is for samplers and stuff. So like the more I can kind of compress these files, the better. I may just for purity's sake do it in stereo, but in order for me to move forward, I need to decide which one of these two I'm going to use for this, which one has the better audio output for me to capture. So first of all, I'm demonstrating that if we look here in Pro Tools, right here on the channel that I'm running this to, let's title it this. We can just title it Old SNES. We can see the audio discrepancy there. If I wanted to, I could record it, but I think I've proven the point. So now I'm going to hook up the other one. So this one will have different outputs. This will be outputs 9 and 10. And then we'll call this is the Retron, which we'll see how the analog audio outputs. It also has the digital audio output, but I don't have anything to split the digital output off of the HDMI. So, but the Retron does have RCA output, so that's how I'm capturing the signal. Let me plug the same game into it just for consistency. I gotta plug this in as well. And plug the video input in the back. Will we get audio? No, I need to set the right outputs. It sounds good. Maybe I should record. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll record back and forth the like at least the intro music, so we can just A/B them in the audio program. Here we go. Get the Capcom. Okay, we get the point there. I do want to see the noise floor real quick, and I have to turn the game on or get the video. I gotta swap the video real quick on this TV, because I do want to see. It already had that. Okay. I already prepped for this. Prepped for this more than I thought I did. Whoops. So the end of that cable should be looped back. Yeah. Like that. That's right. All right, cool. Let's look at the noise floor on this. Oh, isn't that amazing? I don't see nothing, but I hear something. I do hear the hiss. That I did not notice in the other one. All right, so is there a way we can minimize that? That's kind of a tall order. I mean, not really. That's probably within the source of it all. Oh, one thing I'm kind of reminded of is, well, first of all, the Retron is powered off of a USB wall brick. Let me see if I can. I don't want to dig out a better one. Nah, maybe I can. Let me plug in the other one first. But okay, we're done with this. And then you turn it off, and the noise goes away. But one thing with what I'm trying to articulate is this: are these little like the charger adapters, the USB charger plug things, AC to DC converters. These are all noisy unless you hunt down some of these that are not as noisy. Because I experienced this with some Roland gear. The Roland Boutique series relied on USB power. So either you put batteries into the thing, which isn't an option with the Retron. So either you run your Roland Boutiques off of batteries, or you plugged in these and powered them off of USB, and then they were noisy. They had the same kind of noise. So I don't know if this goes back to the actual noisy power supply. If that would help, we could try different power supplies. But I think that's an issue we're going to run into with the Retron on this project. Okay, let me go back to the Sega. And then maybe I'll go run and try to dig up this Super Nintendo. I don't know why I'm calling it a Sega. We'll go to this, and then we'll see if it has that kind of hum. I may be wrong about the plug. If this has the same hum, let's record it. That's all we need to do is just plug it in and turn it on. The audio's connected. Let's mute this so we don't hear the old one. Are you ready? Record. Go. We're just getting the audio here. That sounds good. Okay, so now we have recordings of both of them back to back. As you can see in the Pro Tools screen, is that what everyone's looking at? Yeah. So this one, let's hear the Capcom logo. This is the old school. And then this is, I need to take off this. This is the Retron. I hear that high-pitched squeal from probably the power supply, so that's a big difference. That unless I can fix that, that automatically disqualifies the Retron. Okay, let me try to listen past that at the actual audio quality. So this is the old school. Yeah, sounds how I remember. Oh, that's trebly. Okay. A lot can be said here. As in, like, the recording speaks for it, not me necessarily. Yeah, it's warmer and it sounds good. It sounds vintage. I like, okay, we're using the old one. Since this is hooked up, this isn't about actually capturing and sampling today. This is about setting up for this and mostly just choosing which one of these devices so we can streamline it. One thing I can maybe try to do is I'm going to swap the cable I use for this because I got another cable I can try. So let me go grab that real quick and then we'll record that and then see if it makes any difference whatsoever because it's just one thing floating around in my head. 1 second. It's right here. Was right here. Here it is. And that's this cable here for the Super Nintendo. Let's go. Let's plug this in. I want to see if the cable makes any difference for that slight amount of noise I heard. Let's just see if this is any difference whatsoever. We're going to unplug this cable and then plug in this one. Excuse me. Why not? We can use this channel. Is that stereo? It's hard to read. Yeah, it has to be because it's... I can't type. Mute these. Ah, the noise floor is slightly different with the cable. Isn't that interesting? All right. Hold up. Let's play the two back to back. So this is like the good cable. This is the bad cable. It's negligible. But one thing is for clear. What is for sure is clear is for sure. Duh. Is for clear. I think I'm going to use that now. One thing is for clear. Is that this sounds a lot better than the Retron. Okay. I think that's mission accomplished. I got some more thoughts I want to go through before I move on with this project. Again, I guess I can talk about before I go and wrap this up, all the games I have that are coming up. But that kind of settles it as far as where to go from here. I want to put a little bit more thought into it before I do a marathon of sampling, because if I decide how to change my process in the middle of it, it's going to make me want to go back and do the ones that I already started on. And so I really want to think this through methodically so that I only do it once. And so I want to do this, as best as I can. But then again, I want to do it smartly with the amount of limited free time I have. So with that being said, I'm just going to start listing the games that I have found that I'm going to end up sampling through this process. As far as when is a matter of going to be a public opinion. So the more I hear like a bunch of requests for a certain game or something, again, as long as it fits the criteria, I will prioritize it based on public opinion. So we have Super Street Fighter Turbo. Let me go to the other screen. We're kind of done in Pro Tools. I've kind of gathered the data the day I wanted to get. Let's see. Yeah, we can do that, camera. Okay, so now I want to see myself as I do it. Arkanoid, which is that like scrolling block breaker game. This one has a lot of cool. I started sampling this one. This has a lot of cool sounds in it. Almost like a bunch of synth kind of sounds. I'll just go through the list here. Eek the Cat. Super Street Fighter 2. Now this one has the same sound effects basically as this one. So what we may do, we may end up only doing one. But we may actually end up comparing the two to see if they actually have a different sound. I kind of doubt it, because I don't think they would resample and up the sound. I think they would use the same samples between both games, unless they added some, which I don't think they did exactly, because there's really nothing sonically that's changed between both of the games. But we're going to see. Moving on. Goof Troop, The Tick. This one has some cool sounds if I remember correctly. Focus, please. Mega Man X. Mega Man X2, sorry. No, Mega Man X, my bad. Now, if I remember, Rampart does not have an options menu, but this is one of my favorite nerd games I used to like a lot. But I'm going to sample this because I believe you can turn the sound down, or the background music down. So I'm going to sample this through gameplay. Super R-Type. This is a hard game, but it's awesome. MechWarrior 3050. Oh, that camera just stopped. Here we go. Go back, camera. MechWarrior 3050. Tetris Attack, which is a fun game if you like games like these. Shadowrun. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Zoop. I don't think that one's too popular, but I think there are neat sounds in it. Grab this pile of games. Don't spill them. Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Primal Rage. Mario Paint. That one I'm going to do through gameplay, and that may be pretty extensive because Mario Paint actually has a music editor in it. So I may have to go through that and figure out how I want to sample that exactly. I may save that one for last because that one's probably going to be the biggest chore of them all. Bubsy 2. Midway Classics. And then the reason I want to do this one is because, what's the name? Sinistar is on here. And then I want to get the Sinistar samples. Probably I'll do that one through gameplay. So I don't think there's an options menu. As far as I can see, those are the Super Nintendo games I've set aside for this project. Now for the Sega games. Now this has me, and this is another reason I'm doing the Sega games second, is because this has me kind of second guessing me using the Retron for this project. Because just sounds incredible. If I use the Retron for the Sega games, I don't own a Sega. So if I use the Retron for the Sega games, I'm going to have to deal with that noise and that kind of treble sound. Streets of Rage 2. I'm going to sample this one. It has a sound effects menu. Mortal Kombat on Sega. Vector Man 1. Vector Man 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. And again, I will not take Sega requests because right now, after today, I'm second guessing the use of the Retron for this project. If I'm going to sample this and release it and actually use some of these, I do like the way the actual older stuff sounds. It does have a slight noise floor, but not like this. More so I'm being picky. You see the noise floor on this machine more than you actually hear it. So I don't think it's appropriate to use the Retron, and I think that's the conclusion of today. Okay, I've been through the list of the games I set aside. Tonight, if you check out my other channel, let me put this in the chat for anyone that is watching this. Let me put this in the chat. You want to check out As the Music Flows. It's my other channel, and it's basically my band's practice. I'm going to be going to band practice. I'm going to be streaming it off of that channel. You want to check out As the Music Flows. You'll know it's me if you know me. But that's happening tonight. Go and subscribe to that channel. I want to separate my personal music kind of projects, unless I do them in the studio. If it's studio related, I'll do it under the studio name. If it's like, this is like kind of like we'll call it my band, sure. This is my band, and it's not really related to the store or the studio. It's just, but it is me. It's my music. So I'm separating that from this. But I encourage you to come watch me over there. Thanks for checking it out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hit me up if you have any suggestions or requests for, well, I guess the next game I could try to sample. I want to start with the Street Fighter games because those samples are used a lot in out there, like in our culture already. Like a bunch of, like YouTubers and stuff use samples from that game already. So I want to make them accessible. Thanks for watching. Catch you all on the next one. Look forward to more streaming of sampling. Now that I've decided which device